So we're looking at some words from the Bible, from the book of John, chapter 21. It says this: Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." None of the disciples dared ask, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread. He gave it to them, and he did the same with the fish. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. So, Jamie, what are your thoughts on that?
Remember that this event happened after the resurrection, and Jesus had already appeared to them twice. You'd think after miraculously appearing to them, proving his resurrection and commissioning them to go and spread the good news, that they would be out on the streets evangelizing. But instead, here we have 7 of the disciples going back to their day job, fishing, as if nothing had happened. They weren't walking the narrow path, they'd taken the easy road. So often it's easy to stay comfortable and stick with what you know and put your needs first, rather than take a risk and do what needs to be done, no matter how scary it makes you feel. Martin Luther King said this: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." As it feels that life is starting to get back to normal again, I want to ask you, how are you going to respond? Are there aspirations and dreams that you feel have been hampered by this changing world, where you promise yourself, once lockdown is over, I'll live life to the full and challenge myself? So now how will you react? Will it be easier just to going back to being comfortable again? The disciples had decided to rely on their own well-worn skills again, but frustratingly, even that was failing them that night. So Jesus comes to cook them breakfast, to remind them who they should be relying on and taking advice from. Stop being comfortable. There are more important things they should be doing. There are bigger fish to fry. What I love about his response is his understanding and appreciation of their situation. They don't end their night not catching anything, but by listening and reacting to his instructions, it is only then that they flourish and become blessed. I know lots of people that at some time in their life had a faith, believed in something, but life's got in the way. It was easy to get comfortable, and now it feels that as their faith has gone, so perhaps their hope. Like these events at the Sea of Galilee nearly 2,000 years ago, the same God is asking you how things are going, hoping you will remember his instruction and turn back to him, because he has a plan and a purpose for you. Maybe that might make you feel uncomfortable, but comfortable is not what God is asking of us. Jesus says in Matthew 16, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul?" Naturally, I imagine it was fear that made them go back to what they were comfortable with. They could have stayed fishermen, but Jesus reminded them he had called them to be fishers of men. So today, you have a choice: stay comfortable, or look to see what you could achieve if you took the path that God has planned for you.
This account in John chapter 21 verses 9 to 12 has always intrigued me. Where did Jesus get the fish from? And where did he get the bread from? And how did Jesus get the fire going? As creator of all things, Jesus could have just made it all there and then. He did it at the feeding of the 5,000, so why not now? However, it's not really the focus of these verses, although for a food lover like me it is pretty tempting. The words of Jesus are read in my Bible, and they stick out like a sore thumb. Verse 10 says, Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish you have just caught." And then in verse 12, Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." An invitation to breakfast with the risen Jesus. The disciples turned fishermen again had just had a hard, fishless night. They hadn't caught a thing. Then Jesus arrives on the beach at dawn and does a miracle, and they haul in a huge catch. And I love that John gives us the exact number of fish they caught. Jesus invites them to sit with him and have the fish and the bread, and I can only imagine their memories of the feeding of the 5,000 as they watched and ate. In fact, they were the ones who collected up the leftovers after. It's this invite of Jesus that sticks out to me the most. While these verses record Jesus inviting his disciples to eat with him, there are numerous invites to you and to me to come to Jesus. Often life is hard, and it feels fruitless at times. We even wonder what the point of what we do is. We might be like those disciples sometimes, drifting through life and not finding what it is we're there for. But Jesus is standing patiently, waiting for you to recognize him for who he is. He wants to do a miracle in your life, to make it full and abundant, but not in a material sense, but in a spiritual sense. If you put your trust in Jesus, then he offers you rescue from spiritual death and the deceptions and the poor substitutes of true happiness and salvation that this world peddles. Not only does he save you from death, but he brings you into a full and complete life. And there's more. The offer of rescue is yours today, but also there's an invitation to spend time with Jesus every day, to be in the presence of the person who sacrificed himself for you, so that you can receive that life that he rescued you into. Now that's a barbecue worth going to. Don't wait any longer. Talk to Jesus, recognize him for who he is, and put your trust in him today.